Nothing shakes a man more than watching the woman he left finally shine without him. Letting go isn't about making him sorry. It's about reclaiming your peace. But what happens in a man's heart when he sees you've truly moved on? I'm Vernon, and today I want to share something profound with you. 5 honest things a man feels when he sees you've found your own peace, your own light after him. These aren't the reactions you might expect, and they reveal more about the power of authentic healing than any dramatic gesture ever could. If you're looking for deeper insights on healing, love, and self-worth after 60, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an inspiring video. Now let me take you through what really happens in a man's heart when he witnesses your peaceful transformation. This is where it all begins.
Number 1. Surprised reflection. He didn't expect your peace. You know, Maya Angelou once said something that rings so true here. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. But what happens when your story becomes one of peace instead of pain? Most men, if we're being honest, expect a certain script after a relationship ends. They expect tears, anger, maybe some dramatic gestures or attempts to win them back. They prepare themselves for guilt trips, for emotional confrontations, for the chaos that often follows heartbreak. What they don't expect is your serene acceptance, your gentle moving forward without looking back. When he sees you at the grocery store 3 months later and you smiled genuinely, not to prove anything, but because you're genuinely content, it stops him in his tracks. He prepared for many scenarios: the cold shoulder, the angry outburst, the desperate plea for reconciliation. But not this, not your calm radiance. This isn't the woman he left behind, struggling with tears and sleepless nights. This is someone who has found her way back to herself, someone who has transformed pain into wisdom. Your peaceful demeanor challenges every assumption he made about how devastating his absence should have been. He expected you to be diminished by his leaving. Instead, he sees someone who seems lighter, more herself. There's a confidence in your posture, a genuine warmth in your laugh with friends, a purposefulness in your daily activities that speaks of someone who has not just survived, but discovered new dimensions of herself. This surprise runs deeper than he initially realizes. It forces him to confront his own ego, his own assumptions about his importance in your life. If you're this peaceful, this content, what does that say about the relationship he thought was so central to your existence? Your serenity becomes a mirror reflecting back his own expectations and assumptions. He realizes he may have been operating from outdated scripts about how women should react to loss, about how much his presence should have meant. Have you ever surprised someone with your strength when they expected you to crumble? Share your story in the comments below. But surprise soon gives way to something deeper, a quiet ache he didn't see coming.
Number 2. Subtle regret. He begins to question his choices. Sometimes healing doesn't shout. It simply shows up in the way you live, laugh, and carry yourself. Evelyn, a 62-year-old woman from my community, ran into her ex-husband at a local cafe 6 months after their divorce was finalized. She was there with her book club, laughing genuinely at something her friend had said, her eyes bright with new purpose and connection. Her hair was styled differently, softer, more like how she wore it when they first met. She looked alive. He watched from across the room as she engaged with her friends, animated and present in a way he hadn't seen in years. When she noticed him, she waved warmly, not the strained politeness of someone putting on a show, but the genuine friendliness of someone truly at peace. Later, he confided to a mutual friend, "I didn't know what I had until I saw she didn't need me anymore." This is where regret quietly enters, not the dramatic chest-beating kind you see in movies, but the subtle recognition of profound loss. Oscar Wilde once wrote, "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." Seeing you look toward the stars while he feels stuck in that gutter creates an uncomfortable contrast he can't ignore. When a man sees you've moved on peacefully, he begins to measure his current reality against what he walked away from. If he's dating someone new, he finds himself making comparisons. If he's alone, he questions whether his reasons for leaving were as solid as he convinced himself they were. Your peaceful progress becomes a mirror reflecting his own emotional state. If he's struggling with the same patterns that led him away from you, commitment issues, fear of intimacy, the grass is greener syndrome, your serenity highlights his own unrest. He starts to wonder, was leaving the right choice? What if the problems weren't about the relationship, but about his own inability to appreciate what he had? He begins to see that while you've grown from the experience, he might still be stuck in the same cycles that caused the separation in the first place. Your peace becomes evidence of emotional maturity he's still working toward. Regret is powerful, but it can also awaken respect.
Number 3, respect grows. He sees your strength and independence. There's something deeply moving about witnessing someone transform pain into wisdom, loss into strength. When a man sees you've moved on without bitterness, without drama, without trying to hurt him back, he can't help but respect that kind of emotional maturity. Your independence becomes undeniable evidence of your resilience. He sees you've built a life that doesn't revolve around the absence of him, but around the presence of your own dreams, friendships, and passions. You've taken that art class you always talked about. You've traveled to places you both plan to visit someday. You've deepened friendships that may have been neglected during the relationship. This transformation requires a strength many people never develop, the ability to rebuild not just your circumstances, but your entire sense of self. You've proven that your identity wasn't dependent on being half of a couple, that your happiness wasn't contingent on his approval or presence. He observes how you handle mutual friends with grace, never speaking ill of him or trying to turn people against him. You've maintained your dignity, even when you could have chosen the easier path of anger or vindictiveness. This restraint, this emotional intelligence, commands a respect that goes beyond romantic feelings. When he sees you at social gatherings, you're not the bitter ex-partner seeking sympathy or validation. You're someone who has genuinely moved forward, who speaks kindly when his name comes up, who focuses on your own growth rather than dwelling on past grievances. This grace under pressure is rare and powerful. Your peaceful approach to the end of your relationship demonstrates a level of emotional sophistication that impresses even those who once took you for granted. You've chosen the high road not because it was easy, but because it aligned with your values and your vision of who you want to be. He begins to recognize qualities in you that perhaps he never fully appreciated during the relationship. Your capacity for forgiveness, your ability to find meaning in difficult experiences, your commitment to personal growth even when it would be easier to remain stuck in resentment. This respect creates a complex mix of emotions for him. There's admiration for your strength, surprise at your capacity for grace, and perhaps even a touch of humility as he realizes he may have underestimated not just your resilience, but your entire character. The woman he thought he knew so well has revealed depths he never recognized. Ralph Waldo Emerson captured this beautifully. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Your actions demonstrate exactly what lies within you, a strength that was perhaps always there, but needed this challenge to fully reveal itself. If this message resonates with your journey, share this video with a friend who needs to hear it today. And when respect grows, something else begins. Real self-reflection.
Number 4. Self-questioning and growth. He wonders about his own patterns. Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And sometimes your peaceful transformation becomes the unexpected catalyst for his long overdue self-examination. I think of Grace's story. At 68, she received an unexpected message from her ex-partner 3 years after they'd parted ways. He wasn't trying to rekindle anything romantic. He was thanking her. He wrote, "Grace, seeing how you handled our ending with such dignity made me look at my own patterns. I've been running from every good thing in my life for decades, and watching you find peace showed me what emotional courage really looks like. I'm finally seeing a therapist, trying to understand why I sabotage my own happiness." When a man witnesses your peaceful evolution, it can trigger profound self-questioning that he's been avoiding for years. Your healing journey becomes a benchmark against which he measures his own emotional development, often finding himself lacking. He starts to examine the patterns he repeated throughout his life. Why does he run when relationships require deeper commitment? Why does he find fault with partners when things get comfortable? Why does he always think there's something better around the corner? Your ability to transform and grow highlights his own stagnation. Watching you build a fulfilling life forces him to confront uncomfortable truths about himself. If you could find peace after what happened between you, why is he still struggling with the same issues that plagued him before you even met? Your progress illuminates his lack of progress. This self-reflection can be painful but necessary. He might realize that the problems in your relationship weren't about compatibility or timing. They were about his own emotional immaturity, his fear of vulnerability, his inability to appreciate what he had while he had it. Some men use this realization as motivation for genuine change. They seek therapy, work on their commitment issues, or finally address the fears that have driven their relationship patterns. Others remain stuck, but at least they become conscious of their patterns instead of blindly repeating them. Your peaceful moving on becomes a teacher he never expected to have. You show him what emotional growth looks like, what it means to turn pain into wisdom rather than carrying it as a permanent wound. Whether he learns from this lesson or not is his choice, but the education you provide through your example is profound. And in rare moments, your peace can create an even more unexpected gift.
Number 5. Unexpected gratitude. He's thankful you found your happiness. This might be the most surprising reaction of all, genuine gratitude for your happiness, independent of any benefit to himself. In the deepest moments of maturity, when ego has settled and wisdom has had time to grow, some men reach a profound realization. They're genuinely glad you found your peace, even if it's without them. This isn't the gratitude of someone who feels guilty and wants to ease their conscience. This is the pure gratitude of someone who has learned to love without possession. This gratitude doesn't arrive immediately. It takes time, sometimes years, for a person to reach this level of emotional sophistication. But when it comes, it's transformative for both people involved. He recognizes that holding you back, keeping you tethered to pain or false hope, would have been profoundly selfish. He begins to understand that love, real love, sometimes means wanting someone's happiness even when it doesn't include you. He sees your peaceful progress and feels something unexpected, pride. Not the pride of ownership, but the pride of having once been connected to someone with such strength and grace. This gratitude extends beyond just your happiness. He becomes grateful for the lessons your relationship taught him, even grateful for the pain that led to growth. He realizes that loving you, losing you, and watching you flourish has made him a better person, more capable of real connection in the future. Buddha taught us that hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Your peaceful moving on embodies this truth perfectly, creating space for forgiveness and genuine care to emerge where hurt once lived. In this space of gratitude, he might find himself hoping you continue to thrive, that your new relationships bring you joy, that your dreams continue to unfold beautifully. This isn't about romantic love anymore. It's about human love, the kind that wants good things for people who deserve them simply because they deserve them. Sometimes this gratitude leads to a different kind of friendship, one based on mutual respect and genuine care rather than romantic history. Other times, it remains a private feeling, a quiet appreciation for what you brought to his life and what you've become since. Let's take a moment to reflect on these 5 profound feelings. The surprise at your unexpected peace, the subtle regret for choices made in haste, the growing respect for your remarkable strength, the self-questioning your example inspires, and ultimately, the unexpected gratitude for your hard-earned happiness. Moving on in peace isn't just about leaving someone. It's about returning to yourself with deeper wisdom and stronger boundaries. Sometimes the most powerful closure isn't a dramatic conversation or confrontation, but simply living your joy so authentically that it becomes undeniable to everyone around you. Your peaceful transformation teaches everyone in your orbit, including those who once held your heart, what true emotional strength looks like. It's not loud, it's not vengeful, it's not performed for an audience. It's simply the quiet power of a woman who has remembered her worth and chosen to honor it every single day. Virginia Woolf once wrote, "You cannot find peace by avoiding life. You found peace by embracing it fully, on your own terms, with your own dreams leading the way." Do you have a question, a personal insight, or a story of moving on peacefully that might inspire another woman? feel free to share it in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss powerful insights on love, healing, and rediscovering your worth, especially after 60. I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching my video.